So hey, it's Enigma and Toya. I am coming at you with another video, and in this video I'm going to be basically teaching you how to be an even better opper and tell you what you're doing wrong when you op. I see plenty of players do this, and I did this for about a month before I ran into a Phoenix player who was doing this trick that really helps to, well, it's basically kind of something you could kind of compare it to is jiggling. In this game, you move left to right, and when you're done, you just kind of move to the left again. So that can help get you intel and free damage / kills. But you can't do that with the op. But okay, so what I see a lot of people doing is what I did as well. Is I would see people go, look where their target was. So this is the wall that they're moving behind from, and then they come out. Then they scope in after they survey the surroundings and look around. Then they scope in on their target. Then they fire, which is incredibly inefficient. For one, leaving your cover in that way with any gun is a bad idea. So you want to get intel, jiggle it out to get that intel, because if somebody starts shooting at you, you can just return to cover, and then you have an idea where they are. But anyway, so people do this, which is super slow. I don't know if I can see the zoom in scoped time. Equip speed 1.5, reload. Let's see. I don't know exactly what the equip time is. Well, the equip time is 1.5 seconds, which is not the best. But that's not what I'm talking about. I was trying to find out there was how does, like, how quickly does it scope in? And it's definitely slower than a lot of guns, especially the Marshall. Like, look at that, or the Guardian. Just about every single gun in the game has a faster scope in time. Probably this does. And what that presents you with is it takes a lot of time to find your target and then shoot your target, and if they're using an op, this is what I'm going to be teaching you, is a good counter op strategy. So if somebody's sitting here with an op and they're looking at you from here up in this area right there, if they're sitting up there and you go, that's a lot of time you just spent in the open where an op wants to shoot you. It doesn't take much for that to go wrong. Anyway, here's the actual trick. So what you want to do is you want to start scoping in as you're moving, and it's accurate. You just stop. You can't, but the problem, you don't slow down while you're scoping in, but you slow down after you're done. So if you're going along like this, it's not a terrible strat. However, as it says here, movement speed is 76% when you're like aiming down sights. So, but if you're not aimed down sights yet, it doesn't slow you down. So just practice this. But what you want to do is you want to do this for every angle that you might think they're at. You think they're going to be down right here, so just look. Don't look multiple times, you'll be able to see them if you're doing it right. So just you look, and then you move, and then you peek another thing, so you slowly clear your angles and you don't overexpose yourself while you're opping. So that way you can't, you're less likely to die like that. So, I mean, I feel like this is kind of mean to teach, because this has given me some insane op plays. like I'll absolutely just destroy people, because they have to encounter their reaction time. Like, I have to react too, but if I'm already... Crosshair placement is one of the most important things in this game. You don't have to adjust your aim much if you already kind of put your crosshair where you think they're going to be. Which means you have less to do and react with than them. They'll be able to react, yes, however, they have much less time to react, so... It's basically like doing a jiggle, except with an op. And then, another thing I wanted to teach, other than that, which I suggest, it doesn't take much practice, I just scope in while you're going around a corner. You kind of learn the scope in time, and then you can compensate for that really easily without even thinking. Just make this a habit. Don't stop doing this, please. Just another thing that I recommend doing is after you hit your scoping in here and you fire, pull out your knife and run, or just move to cover. Practice doing that. Know where you want to leave to before you start, so that you don't run into a worse position than you were in while you're actually just shooting. So basically, this is actually a thing I learned from CSGO, except to counter a different problem. So if you go into settings and go into equipment, there's this option, and it's let's see, re-enter scope, auto re-enter scope, which happens with CSGO. I don't recommend that for this game. It's probably not a good idea. It might have some advantages, yes, however, it could also just be really annoying. But in CSGO, I don't even think there's an option to turn that off or on. So what you end up doing is you end up in CSGO, you shoot, and then you're starting to move away, but then it's like, oh, you're scoping in again, which is really annoying. So what people do is they shoot, and then they pull out their knife so that their rifle doesn't, or their op, or their SSG-08 doesn't re-scope. And that's so that they can have some mobility after and it also helps with mobility after taking a shot, like it does here. Let's see. Another thing I see people doing with ops is reloading after every shot, and it's a bad habit for just about anything in this game, especially. Reload speed, you want to spend about 4 seconds reloading your gun while somebody may be switching to, like, rushing to you. However, you can use this as a bait. What you do is you fire, you start to reload. Now, let's see, I need to change some settings in this thing. So what you do is you fire, and then you pull out your knife, and then you pull out your gun again. It's slow, but it's not the best, but however... Although, it can save you a little time. It's worth experimenting with that. It can be better with different guns, though, but canceling animations can be very crucial to surviving. However, it's not the fastest thing to do, so playing and just reloading after like every engagement and shot without it being necessary is punished a lot. So I'm gonna call that good. If I run into anything else that really I can think of that makes the op a lot better or a good way to counter, but like this is the trick I taught you is a good counter op technique, but also a very good aggressive op technique. So that let's say your ping is higher, and you don't want to really hold the angle because they know you're there. Then they just come around the corner and boom, headshot you with the Vandal or whatever they're holding. So that's getting a little old. So then you can kind of bait them into rushing up the hallway or wherever you're waiting, and then you just peek around, kind of having an idea of where they're going to be, and you just shoot them. It catches people really off guard. So if you can hit your shots and you have the technical skill to adjust quickly with the op, which to do that, I just recommend practicing or just doing a normal mode and just shooting, like just waiting and then seeing where they are and then just scoping in and shooting them. But yeah, that's all for this video. Sorry it was kind of long, I kind of repeated myself a bunch, but I just wanted to really emphasize how important some of this stuff can be, or really useful. One last thing, I actually know what secondary you want to buy with your op. If you really like Classic, go ahead. If you don't, experiment with the Ghost or the Frenzy, or maybe even the Shorty. However, using the Shorty leaves you with kind of a critical disadvantage in like close mid combat. Like if you're out of Shorty range but you're not in close range op, then you're gonna have a big disadvantage, but the Frenzy can really hold up. I like to use that with my ops quite a bit, and the Ghost is just about my favorite gun, so, in the game. So yeah, I guess abuse these till Riot Games decides that the meta's toxic, I guess. Because it already is, so let's just make it even more so till they have to do something. So yeah, I'll be seeing you in another video sometime. Share this with your opera buddies, and yeah, maybe leave a like if you thought it was useful. And bye.